Oh, here we go. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Come on in. We are live. I'm on the Bishop Foreman YouTube and Bishop Foreman YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter video, as well as on Instagram. Y'all, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to talk tonight. I told you yesterday that we were going to go live for the next few nights and just talking about, one, you are a survivor. And then number two, just talking about our journey. Harvest celebrated 15 years yesterday since we started from scratch with nothing, and we are celebrating that progress and that journey. And so we're going to be on a few different platforms tonight. Typically, when I do these impromptus, we're just on one platform, but we're going to be on a few different platforms tonight, the Bishop Foreman, all the Bishop Foreman platforms. So what's going on? Shalom to you. Come on in, everybody. Like the video. Do me a favor. Tell me where you're watching from. Share this video. I need you on my YouTube. I need y'all to share on YouTube, share on Facebook, and share on Twitter video tonight. Let's do what we can to reach as many people as possible. First of all, let me just say, if you do not have the Harvest Search mobile app, I'm going to need you to grab our app. Our app is the best way to stay connected. Hey, Virginia. Our app is the best way to stay connected. And how do you get connected to the app? You can get connected to the app right there by texting the word harvest to the phone number 877-552-4746. For those of you that are on YouTube and Facebook, it just pulled up for you at the bottom of the screen. God had us up this late. Yes, I'm so glad. I told you I was going to go live today. It's going to be a little later than normal. Hey, Omaha. Hey, Denver. Good to see you. Come on in, everybody, everywhere. And then I want to using a slightly different platform so I can see your comments over there on YouTube and Facebook. I can see your comments. So come on in, like the video. Tell me where you're watching from. Share this video. I need you to let's start out making this declaration. I am a survivor. Can I get you to type that? I am a survivor. Hey, Colorado Springs, I am a survivor. So I need you to know that about yourself. And I told you these definitions of what it means to be a survivor, which is so important. If you do not know, hey, ATL, Dallas, Georgia, that's ATL. We're on several different platforms tonight. But you have to know that you're a survivor, right? And a survivor, I gave you the definitions of the word survivor, and I even preached about it in our series this past Sunday, reality TV. And I want you to know that that's what you are. You're a survivor. And survivor, let me give you these three definitions again. A person who copes with difficulties in their life. You have gone through some difficult situations, some difficult issues, some difficult circumstances in your life, and you have handled those things like a champ. Do you hear me? You have handled those things exceptionally well. And I need for you not to minimize, not to reduce what it is that you've overcome, not to minimize what you have beat. You are a survivor. There's stuff that killed other people that you made it through. There's stuff that made other people lose their mind that you made it through. All right. You have learned how to cope with life's difficulties well. And listen, whenever you learn how to cope with life's difficulties well, watch me. What is abnormal for others is something that's normal for you. Like when other people are losing their mind, you're like, I'm good. Have you ever noticed how other people are tripping over stuff and upset about stuff and frustrated with stuff that you look at and you're like, man, this is nothing. This is easy. Like I'm not even tripping over this. Other people are like, how in the world am I going to deal with this? And you're like, listen, I know how to cope with difficulties well. Consequently, because you know how to cope with difficulties well, I need you to hear me. What that means is that God can trust you with difficult situations that perhaps other people cannot be trusted with. Job was a survivor, and he could be trusted with difficult stuff that other people were not able to be trusted with. So because you cope well, listen, you have to cope with more. I'm going to say that again. Because you cope well, you have to cope with more. And so that's just the way it is. All right. So God hasn't, it's not that God is picking on you. God has picked you. Can I just get you to release that on the screen? God has picked you. God has picked you. Or say he has picked me. That's that on the screen. God has picked me. And if you're just coming in again, y'all do me a favor, like this video, tell me where you want to share this video. We're doing this a little different than that. I'm trying a few different platforms versus putting it out on IG when I do these pop-ups. So I need you to share. I wanted to try something a little different tonight. We're not going to be live for super long. I realize for my East Coast family, it's midnight. But what you doing? Where you going to go? All right. For those of you in Denver, it's only 10 o'clock. And you'll be all right. All right. He picked you. He did not pick on you. Job was picked by God. God had double on his mind. Everybody pay attention. Job, listen to me. We don't see anywhere in the Bible where where Job ever asked for double, but God picks him for double. There's some things that you never asked God for that he picked you for. And if you do not understand that he picked you for, you'll feel like he's picked on you when really he has picked you. I need you to say that. He's picked me. He's picked me. He has picked me. He absolutely has. All right. And so yesterday I was talking about how for me, I didn't want to be a pastor, a senior pastor. I didn't want to be a bishop. I didn't, which is a pastor to pastors. I did not want to do that. But at the end of the day, God picked me for something. And that had some warfare that came with it. That had some drama that came with it. That has some issues that I did not want to deal with. Can I be honest with you? That's just the way that it is. All right. And so in all of that, that's it. Let me give you these definitions and then we're going to talk. All right. We're going to talk. I'm going to share some more on my journey. If you missed last night, oh my God, last night was amazing. It was an impromptu thing. Several people gave their lives to the Lord last night. In fact, I think we're one or two decisions away from seeing, we'll hit 200 for the year, which is awesome. We want to see even more. We're going to hit 1,000 before the end of the year, but it was amazing. If last night blessed you, just wave at me or drop a fire on whatever platform you're on. If last night blessed you and it was good to you. All right. Many of you are in some things that you didn't pick. If you're in a situation now that you didn't pick, just wave your hand at me. If you're in a situation right now, you didn't pick to be the boss. You didn't pick to deal with certain circumstances. You didn't pick to be picked on. You didn't pick for your siblings to treat you badly. You didn't pick that. Somebody says, I didn't do my homework. Yes, I gave y'all some homework yesterday if you were on yesterday. You didn't pick these things. And as a result of it, sometimes you can look at it waiting for the cliffhanger. Oh, listen, I got some tea for you. I'm going to spill some tea. I got some tea for you. And as a result of you not picking these things, what ends up happening is you can be like, God, what's wrong? And I need you to hear me. It's not that something is wrong. It's simply that you've been picked. I'm going to say it again. It's not that something was wrong. It's that you've been picked. But listen, God did not create you for you. He created you for the earth. I'm going to back that thing up and say it again. God did not create you for you. He created you for the earth. You were sent to the earth to be a problem solver. You got me? Jeremiah chapter 1, he says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. So that means I formed you, which means I built you, Jeremiah, to handle a specific problem in the earth. Like I built you out for this. Can I get you to release that? I'm built for this. I'm built for this. I'm built for this. Like you literally were not picked to do your own thing, your own way. Like God literally built you out. I formed you in your mother's womb so that you would be able to solve a problem in the earth. So check me out. So since you didn't pick this, but God picked you, that means that he built you to do something. So the stuff you think you can't handle, how would you know? How would you would not know whether or not you can handle it because you didn't build yourself. Got it? When an automobile is being manufactured, the automobile itself does not know the full level of its capabilities. It is up to the one that designed it and built it to be able to tell you the full list of capabilities. God built you for a problem in the earth, right? So that means when he picks you for stuff, it's not even about you. It's bigger than you. And on this Friday night, May 21st, it's bigger than you. 15 years ago, when we stepped out on faith, with nothing and no help. And let this be an encouragement to some of y'all, because some of you are like, if I just had the help, could it be that God won't let anybody help you? Because what he builds through you, he wants to get all the glory for it. Got it? Nobody helped us. Nobody gave us a piece of toilet paper to get started. I sought wisdom. I sought knowledge. I sought information. And nobody helped us. And I remember thinking, well, I'm going to do what God told me to do. But God, why won't anybody help me? It's because I don't want you to build it based off of what somebody else has done. I want to build something in you. I picked you. And what I'm going to do through you, eye hasn't seen, ear hasn't heard, neither has it entered the heart of man. What does that mean? I don't want you learning nobody else's ratchet, whack way of doing stuff. I want to do something unique through you. All right. So, all right, I'm just giving you these definitions. Then we're gonna get a little testimony. Then we're gonna keep it moving. All right. Again, over there on YouTube and Facebook, I need y'all to share. I came over them. Came over there, but I need y'all to share over there. All right. The second definition of survivor: the remainder of a group of people or things. There are people that have started with you that have not finished with you. One of the most difficult things that I had to learn as a pastor is that everybody that is around you, while you may love them and you may intend for them to be around you forever, it may not happen that way. Wow. I'm going to say that again. You may want people to be in your life forever. You may want people to be a part of your thing forever. You may want to be connected forever, but people come with a purpose and an expiration date. And one of the most difficult things I had to learn was the expiration date of individuals who are not survivors. They're not the same level of metal as me. Like iron sharpens iron. Aluminum will be, everybody pay attention. Aluminum will think iron is too abrasive. Aluminum will think iron is too rough. Aluminum, because watch me, it is not that for some of you, you get frustrated because people will say, you're too passionate, you're too intense, you're too on fire, you're too demanding, you're too this, you're too that. It's not that I'm just too this. It is that it's simply too much for you. I need you to say, I'm not stopping. Come on. I'm not stopping. Don't water yourself down because they can't handle you at full volume. Y'all better hear me today. Just because they can't drink the sweet tea with all of the sugar and they got to put water in theirs, don't mean that something is wrong with it. It just may be the wrong for them. The wrong for them. And so I had to learn that. And that was difficult as a pastor because I was like, listen, like I love you. And if I love you, I love you for life. Like we in this for life. And then I would hear people say things like, Bishop, I'm going to be with you forever. And I believed them. And then forever was, a year or two. I believed it when people would say stuff like, oh my God, this man of God, ooh, Bishop, the way he changed my life. Oh my God, Bishop, I ain't going nowhere. I literally remember a lady one time saying that to me. She says, the way you challenge us, the way you stretch us, and oh my God, it is so amazing. Oh my God, I am so blessed. 2 weeks later, I never saw that lady. And I had heard that she gonna send an email to administration, remove me off your list. I said, check. I just thought 2 weeks ago that God Almighty did this. And 2 weeks later, take me off your list. Well, not even so much as a Bishop, can you bless me? Bishop, can you release me? Bishop, what's going on? Bishop, what's happening? I need for some of you to hear me. You have to get used, watch me, to uncomfortable and untimely endings. Oh my God. Who am I talking to tonight? You got to get used to uncomfortable and untimely endings because it can hurt. But you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with people celebrating you on Saturday and on Sunday and the next day that you might not see them no more. You have to be okay with that. Can I just get you to type that? I'm okay with that. You have to be okay that the people that start with you may not be the people that continue to rock with you. And you have to be okay with that. I need you to speak that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. There are people who they will say, you're the best friend I ever had. And then they're going to stop returning your calls. There are going to be people that will say you're the best this that I've ever had. And then you will never hear from them again. And you got to be okay with that. Don't take it personal. Monica said, come on, prophet. Monica said, it's just don't take it personal. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that. Got it? And can I tell you something? I don't know who needs to hear this. And stop chasing them down to find out why they disappeared. If they respected you and loved you and honored you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, they would have had a conversation with you and not just disappeared on you. Because they did not do you right in their exit, you bet not go chase them. Who am I talking to tonight? You bet not go chase them. You bet not, what's wrong? What happened? No, you're grown. And ain't nobody gonna chase no grown ninjas. I need y'all to talk to me tonight. It's a Friday night. Look, we're gonna keep it 100. We're gonna keep it 100. Can I get a few to drop it 100 tonight? I'm the people's bishop, and tonight the people's bishop is gonna keep it 100. I got some tea to spill too. I mentioned yesterday, because some of the stuff that I had to deal with, I didn't know. Nobody told me. There's stuff nobody told me. And I'm like, oh my God, you like these past, like, I was like, why did nobody tell me some of the stuff I was going to deal with? All right. And that's something you have to be okay with. Job, in Job chapter 1, you have Job, you have his 10 children, and you have his wife. You have 12. You have 12 people. Job has 3 friends. Watch me. That's 15. Come on, be a good church. Be a good church. Be a good church. Come on, be a good digital. All right. Harvest just turned 15 yesterday. Job, he's got his 10 children. It is him and his wife, and he's got 3 friends. All right. By the end of the first test that Job goes through, his 10 children are gone. So now, watch me. You have Job, his wife, and his 3 friends. 5. He is reduced from 15 to 5 in one day, and he has to keep it moving. And for some of you, you have to be okay that if who you thought was going to do it with you doesn't. Who am I talking to? You have to be okay if who you thought was going to support you doesn't support you. You have to be okay if who said they were going to help you financially does not. Who am I talking to? You have to be okay if the people who you sacrificed for will not sacrifice for you. You have to be okay with that. And by okay, I don't mean like it's cool. I don't mean like it's right what they did. I mean, what you going to do? Stay stuck there? I need somebody who has felt stuck to say, I'm moving forward. I need somebody who has felt stuck to type that on the screen. I'm moving forward. Come on, type it on the screen. I'm moving forward. Every platform tonight. I'm moving forward. I'm going to pull y'all a little close over here. I'm moving forward. All right. You have to understand that. For some of you, watch me. For even some of you with your children, the way your children have handled you and moved with you, it has got you thinking, what the heaven, hell, and earth is going on with these kids? I didn't raise them to be this way. I didn't teach them to be this way. You have to be okay with who is not a survivor like you. The definition of survivor means the remainder. And I need you to hear me. You have remained. You've not been perfect, but you've remained faithful. You've not been perfect, but you've remained consistent. You've not been perfect, but you have remained diligent. Who am I talking to tonight? You've not done every little thing right, but you have remained. Got it? You have remained, and you have to be okay with who doesn't. That was one of the most hurtful things as a pastor. So that's why I titled tonight, but this is the hardest part of, what did I call it? This is the hardest part of, what did I call it? I can't see the title. But this is the hardest part about winning. Is because these are the things that when you start to win, you really go through some things that you have to be okay with. You have to be okay with people lying on you. You have to be okay with people talking about you. You have to be okay with people misrepresenting the facts about you. You have to be okay. You have to be okay with that. You have to be. All right. And by being okay, this means I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep it moving forward. All right. And then look at this. Look at this. Look at this. The last definition of survivor, a person who survives, especially a person remaining alive. Listen, after an event in which others have died. Remaining alive after an event in which others have died. In other words, this has killed other people, but what killed them made you stronger. Let's talk. This has made other people give up, but what made other people give up is what made you dig in. I want to talk a little bit about our journey of Harvest and just my journey in ministry and life. And God has been good to me. God's allowed me to accomplish a lot, but I feel like I am just, thank you, Priscilla. I feel like I'm just getting started. Thank you all. Thanks, sir. I see that, but this is the hardest part. I feel like I'm just getting started. And for many of you, I need you to take that mentality on. You're just getting started. Well, Bishop, I'm in my 50s, but baby, you just getting started. But I'm in my 60s. You're just getting started. The Bible says that he will renew your youth. He will renew your strength, which means I don't care how old you are. The fact that God has kept you alive means there's something new he wants to do through you. For those of you who have felt like, what, God, what's up? What's going on? I need you to type that on the screen. I'm just getting started. I am just getting started. Come on, YouTube. I am just getting started. Come on, Instagram. I am just getting started. I am just getting started. And so I started, when we started the church, can I be honest? I didn't, and I want to talk about the hard part, some of the hard parts, and I'm going to spill some tea, and then we're going to go live again tomorrow night too. Just during this time, I may do this for the next several days. We'll see. Yesterday, or you kept alive, excuse me, after what's killed others. I was at a funeral for a pastor a couple of days ago. And at 61, his time on earth had come to its conclusion. I want to give you something. The Bible says that our days are numbered. Our days are numbered. Our days, that's Job chapter 14, verse number 5. Your days are numbered. What does this mean? That when God created you, he created you to solve a problem for the earth. So you were sent for the time you were needed most. You had to be born where you were born, when you were born, to who you were born, how you were born. Even if it was messed up, you had to be here. You were sent to the earth to solve a problem for the time that you were needed most. That's number one. But in that, God also gave you a set amount of time. Please listen, a set amount of time on the earth. And God says, you've got to get what I sent you to do in this amount of time. Here's the problem, y'all. He never tells you how much time you have. And it is not about, listen, it is not about the number of years. It is about the quality of years. The quality of years. Jesus gets it done in 33 and a half years. He gets it done. You can look at other people who accomplish great things that we look at in the earth. Dr. King in his 30s when he exits the earth. We could go on example after example after example. The reality is your days are numbered. So what does this mean? We don't have time to waste time. We don't have time to waste time. For those of you who have felt stuck or stagnant in any area of your life, I need you to just type that. I don't have time to waste time. You do not have time to waste time because your days are numbered. So every birthday you're counting up. Heaven is counting down. I'm going to back that thing up and say it again. See, the reason that Corona couldn't take you out of here is because it wasn't your number. Y'all better listen to me. The reason that car accident couldn't touch you, you were like MC Hammer, couldn't touch this. The reason it couldn't touch you is because it's not your number. It's not your number. It's not your number. The reason that cancer could not kill you is it's not your number. Everybody listen to me. The reason you couldn't kill yourself is because it's not your number. But the Bible says that our days are numbered. Our days are numbered. Our days are numbered. Our days are numbered. All right. So knowing that, that means we got to maximize the time that we're here. We don't have time to waste time. And so I started praying a prayer when I was a kid. And here was my prayer. I said, God, accelerate. And I don't like this word anymore, destiny, because destiny implies a destination. And once you get to your destination, you're done. So I don't really like that word much anymore. But at that time I did. And I prayed this prayer when I was a kid. I said, Lord, accelerate my destiny. I said, whatever I am sent to the earth to do, I want to do it quickly. I don't want to waste no time. I don't want to waste any energy. Like, Lord, whatever I am sent to do, accelerate it. So here's what that means. To accelerate where I was headed, he had to accelerate my hurt. To accelerate where I was going, he had to accelerate what I would go through to get there. All right. So I used to pray that prayer as a kid. And we're talking mostly about the journey of harvest, and we'll work some of my journey in there too. And so I prayed that prayer when I was a kid. And so we start harvest. And so I was serving as an associate pastor of a church. When I started my first business when I was 12, and so at 12, I had also started in ministry. And so I started on staff at a church at the age of 12, like Jesus when he says, "Woman, did you not know I must be about my Father's business?" Let me say this to y'all. God's not going to waste anything. See, I had a plan for my life. My plan was that I was going to go into politics. So I wanted to start as a lawyer, be a lawyer, go get a local judgeship, shift into politics. I wanted to get a local mayor's seat. And then from there, Senate, and then I wanted to be president of the United States. Like, that was a real thing. I have myself on video when I was 16-year-old saying that on TV, because I pioneered this program called Teen Court. And so when I was 16 years old, we did this TV interview and they had me on there. And when I was 16 years old, I said, this is what I want to do. And what's amazing is everything that I wanted to do, I'm doing, but I'm doing it differently. I'm doing it differently than I imagined. I need you to get this point. He's not going to waste anything. Everything you've been through, he's going to use it. Everything you've been through, he's going to use it. Please say that he won't waste anything. Like, you can think, oh my God, I wasted my 20s. No, you didn't. He is not going to waste that if you let him use it. Oh my God, I wasted my 30s. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Not if you allow him to use it. And so I was serving this, fast forward, got in the ministry through music. I was a drummer. I started out horrible. I started playing drums because I was competing with a friend of mine. He and I were super competitive, and we competed about everything. And so his father was a bishop in a Pentecostal organization. And so he could play the organ, he could play the drums, he could play everything. So I got this drum set. I couldn't play the drums. I was like, I'm going to learn how to play the drums. I hadn't quite, I started playing saxophone. I kind of got okay with that. And then I was like, let's move on. So I got with them drums. And when I got with those drums, Shalom, good to see you. When I got with those drums, what ended up happening is that I started out horrible. I was bad. And let me teach you another principle here. Do not, please listen to this. One of the worst pieces of advice, and only unsuccessful people say this. So please listen very carefully. People who have succeeded never say this. Do not make it your point to pursue your passion. You're only passionate about what you think you're good at. Just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean there's any purpose in it. Did you hear me? I couldn't play the drums. I was awful. I was horrible. I was really bad. I couldn't keep the beat. You know, I had rhythm-ish, but I couldn't keep the beat and all of that. It wasn't a passion of mine. And so consequently, had I only pursued a passion, it would have taken me down the wrong path. Had I pursued a passion, it would have taken me down the wrong path. All right. So I start playing the drums. Fast forward, because a lot of y'all, you'll say, I just want to do what I'm passionate about. Baby, that might not be where the purpose is. You're only passionate about what you're good at. Get good at some new stuff and you'll be passionate about that. Got it? What if it was only a door to introduce you to another door? What if it was only a door to introduce you to another door? What if it was only a door to introduce you to another door? What if it was only a door to introduce you to another door? So I thought music was it, but it was only a door. Come on here, to introduce me to another door. God used music to introduce me to the man of God that I would be. When I was a kid, they used to call me Rev and stuff like that. But I wasn't really, I heard it, but I didn't hear it, right? And so stay with me, y'all. I'm going to get to the hard part, spill some tea. And, they got this feature where I can share an invite link. And if you want to come up and ask a question on Facebook and YouTube, I can do it just like I can do it on Instagram. So I'm going to post that link here in a minute. So I got good at the drums, though. I studied. I became a student. Every day after school, I practiced. I remember going, I auditioned. Make a long story short, auditioned. Eventually, I became part of church staff, matriculated, and all of that. Fast forward, I'm an associate pastor at a church. And as an associate pastor at a church, I was brought in to do a rebuild. The church had gone through some transitions, so I was brought in to do a rebuild because of my business background. I know how to build things. I take things from scratch and I build them. Because you're a survivor, you know how to build with broken pieces. Because you're a survivor, you know how to build with broken pieces. Everybody listen to this piece of wisdom. Don't expect God to ever give you, got it, the best hand. Expect for God to be able to give you what you know what to do with. You know how to take broken pieces and make something beautiful out of it. Who am I talking to? You know how to take broken pieces and make something beautiful out of it. You know how to take broken pieces and make that look amazing. You knew how to take, broken pieces of life and do something amazing. Do not expect the best hand, because God says, I know I can trust you with broken pieces. You can trust you with broken pieces. So this is why you're like, God, you gave this Mark over here this, and you gave me this. And God is like, because you're a survivor. You have the anointing to survive. You can do what they can't do. You can do what they cannot do. You can do what they cannot do. You can do what they cannot do. You have the anointing and the grace to build. You're a builder. This is why everything you built, you got it out the mud, and you built it, and you built it successfully. And you built it, and you built it well. And you built it, and you didn't have what everybody else had. I need you to type that on the screen. I'm a builder. I'm a builder. All right. When you are a survivor, what you're doing is you're telling God, I'm a builder. I'm a builder. That's what you're telling him. I'm a builder. So don't be looking at other people's hand on social media talking about, ooh, that'd be nice if I got that. God is like, listen, you've got something better. You ready? I'm about to go up. You have favor. And watch me. Favor is better than money. They needed money because they don't have favor. Come on here. They needed a team that could do it for them because they're not that good as an individual. Who am I talking to? They needed all of the support and the help because they didn't know how to do it themselves. You, however, you know how to take it out the mud. You are a builder. You are a survivor. Come on, guys, on Facebook and YouTube, I need y'all to share. I'm doing 2 platforms or 2 different screens tonight. I got Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, or Twitter video, whatever, over here, Instagram over here. All right, but I need y'all with me. Let's go. That's who you are. Okay. All right. So listen, so I was brought in to do a rebuild and all of that. And while I was there, God did some amazing things, taught me some amazing lessons during that time. And the transition out of that pastor no longer wanted to be in ministry. So he was going to transition out. In that transition out of him doing that, I was like, God, what am I supposed to do? And the Lord spoke very clearly to me some instructions that I was supposed to follow. And I did not follow them because in my mind, Lord, well, I can't do that. I have to do this. So let me give you this piece of wisdom. When you're a survivor, you can begin to think you know better than God. Listen to me. When you're a survivor, you can begin to think, God, I heard what you said, but this is what I'm going to do. I heard what you said, but this is how I'm going to do it. Do I have any honest people with me tonight? God, I know exactly what the word says, but I'm going to do this. I heard exactly what I'm supposed to do, but I'm going to do this. All right. And because of that, I literally told God, I was like, okay, Lord, I heard what you said, but this is what I'm going to do. I heard what you said, but this is what I'm going to do. Can I challenge some of you tonight? Incomplete obedience is complete disobedience. Half doing it is whole wrong. All right. When you're a survivor, you can think you're going to help God out. Case in point, let me give you Bible for this. Abraham is like, okay, God, I'm getting up there in age, and you're telling me that me and Sarah, we're going to have a child, and I'm getting up there in age. So what did they begin to do, y'all? And what did they begin to do? They tried to help God out. So what does Sarah do? Sarah, and if you read the story, it's a mess. It's like a whole Maury Povich, Jerry Springer episode with some Sally Jesse Raphael in there. All right. So Sarah's like, take Hagar. Hagar is my servant. Take Hagar. Y'all have sex. And then you can get her pregnant because she's still young. She can produce. She's fertile. She got them childbearing hips. Go on and sleep with her. Have a child because we're going to help God out. We're going to help God out. Come on, Cortez. I will not box the instructions. We're going to help God out. So they think they're going to help God out. So in them helping God out, what ends up happening is that Ishmael is born. And then after Ishmael is born, read the dynamic. Because Hagar starts feeling herself. Hagar says, hey, look, like she starts smelling herself. And Sarah's like, who is this chick talking to me? Like, go read the story. It's a whole episode of a daytime talk show. Who does this woman think she is? Sarah tells Abraham, put this woman out my house. I do not want her in my house no more. But wait a minute, Hagar. Everybody pay attention. You ruin relationships because you want to help God out. You will ruin good relationships because you are trying to rush a process. You will ruin good relationships and you will box the instructions. And this is what happened. That's not what God wanted. God says it's going to be you, Abraham, and Sarah. This is what it's going to be. You trying to help me out. Because when you're a survivor, you will start to think that you know better. I need every survivor to hear me tonight. How many of us can be honest that there are things that you began to do that you did that you knew you weren't supposed to do because you thought, well, this is what needs to be done? All right. Where y'all at? Y'all getting quiet on these chat. This chat is the most quiet it's ever been. All right. On both things here. All right. Don't help him out. All right. Because you're like, it's taking too long. God must want everybody listen. He must want me to do this because he hasn't done this. I don't know who needs to hear this tonight. Do not think that because he hasn't done this, that means he wants you to go do wrong. Do not think that because he has not made this clear, that he wants you to jump ship. Do not think that. Do not think that. All right. So what ends up happening? Now, Sarah and Hagar, y'all used to be like this. Now you can't stand her. There are relationships you will ruin as a survivor because you are, listen, because you are always in survival mode. Oh my God. There are relationships you may ruin as a survivor because you're always in survival mode. And when you're always in survival mode, what does that mean? You only see people as a means to survive, not as a mean to continue. This is good. This is amazing. You will ruin relationships. To get $200, you will ruin a relationship. To not keep your word about something, you will ruin a relationship. You'll ruin it. They were like this. And this relationship was ruined. So Sarah's like, get this chick out my house. The way she talking to me, she feeling herself and all that. So literally, the Lord tells Abraham, go on and do it because this is about to be a mess. This is about to be a whole mess. So Abraham sends a Hagar and Ishmael. He sends them away. And Abraham says, Lord, please bless Ishmael. And the Lord says, no, I'm not going to bless him. Everybody pay attention to this. I am not going to bless your mess. Just because you I'm not going to make a covenant with your mess. Because you rushed and did it your way. I'm not making a covenant. I will bless him because this child did not ask to be here. But Abraham, this is on you, man. This is on you. I'm not going to bless this the way you want me to bless this. All right. So what ends up happening? He sends him off. Eventually he has to do Isaac. And so I made that Ishmael mistake. And whenever you create an Ishmael, your Ishmael will fight your Isaac. Your Ishmael will fight your Isaac. What's going on in the Middle East today is Ishmael and Isaac bumping heads. To some extent. There's more deep. It's deeper than that, but just to keep it simple. All right. All right. So that's what I did. I didn't do what I knew to do that was right. Y'all, please listen to me. I didn't do what I knew to do what was right. I didn't. I knew exactly what to do, and I didn't do. I was like, God, I'm going to help you out. This is what I need to do. So consequently, as I exited, it got messy. The situation got messy. And it got so messy, and I'm talking about this because the hardest part of surviving is starting. Yes, that was after they had Ishmael. So in that, I had our agreement was that I would depart a couple of weeks earlier, and in that, because the pastor was exiting, and as he was exiting, I won't get into too much detail, but as he was exiting, I began to get calls. And I began to get calls from people, and they would say, Pastor Foreman, what's going on? I said, what do you mean, what's going on? Well, this was said about you. And I was like, what? I was like, that's not true. And then I got another call the next week. What? That's not true. And that stuff hurt me deeply. So I picked up the phone, being the G that I am. I picked up the phone, tried to call the pastor. He wouldn't answer the phone. I got on the phone with his wife, and listen to what his wife told me. His wife said, well, we were talking. I said, what are y'all doing saying stuff that's not accurate, that's not true? Like, why are y'all doing this to me? Like, I didn't, like, come on. It's one thing, everybody listen, it's one thing for people to say stuff that's true that you don't want them to say. It's another thing for people to just make up stuff about you. Who on any of these platforms tonight, you've ever had people make up some stuff about you? Wave at me. Like, make it up. Like, you're like, that ain't even, like, it's not that you shared something private. Like, you're just making this up. And I remember, I won't go too deep into this part of the story. I'll share this part, the deeper of this another day. But I remember she said, well, Denver's a small place. And, you know, we're gonna see what happens to your reputation. And I thought, wow. And then I began to tell her the facts, because she had been, brought into some bad information too, factually. And she was like, oh, 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 oh. And I was like, so y'all are sitting up here trying to assassinate a man. Because you think, everybody listen, because y'all think I want to start a church, and I don't want to start no church. That was the last thing on my mind. That was January of 2006. January of 2006, I had this transition going on. And also in January of 2006, one of the businesses that I had built, that industry collapsed. So I was dealing with a total change from a business standpoint and a total change from a spiritual standpoint. And y'all, that stuff was so hurtful. It was so hurtful to me. For 2 weeks, I didn't go to church. Now, for some of y'all, 2 weeks, you ain't been in 2 weeks. You need to come on. You need to come in the building in Denver. You need to watch online on Sunday. But for 2 weeks, I didn't go to church. And here's what I said to God. I said, God, if this is how your people are, can I be real? I'm going to keep it 100. I'm keeping it 100. I said, they can go to hell. I said, now somebody going, I ain't going. But these people, they can go straight to hell. That's what I said. All right. That's what I said. And I got out of order because I decided I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to tell my story. I said, because I'm being lied on, I'm going to tell my story. Can I encourage somebody? Sometimes when you're a survivor, you have to learn the importance of silence. Woo! Can I just get you to type that on the screen? Silence. I was so befuddled by this situation that I was like, I got to tell my story. So I called myself sending an email. They had this directory. I was totally out of order. Let me spill some tea. I was totally out. I was so out of order, and I paid a price for my disorder. This is why I'm so big on order and honor and excellence now, because I paid a price for it. God made sure I'd learned that lesson. There was a church that had a directory with everybody's emails and stuff in there. So I put all them emails in an email, and I sent everybody an email saying, look, I just want to make sure that my story, my side is out. And everybody pay attention. What the Bible says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Come on, y'all. The Bible says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. So even though you were wronged, everybody listen, you didn't handle it right. I'm going to say that again. Somebody better hear me tonight. Even though you were wronged, you did not handle it right. And I didn't. I was dead wrong, out of order, total mess, totally out of line to do that. But I was like, God, you aren't defending me. And you ready? You never gave me a chance to. For some of you, even though you have been wronged, how you are handling it ain't right. You got to learn silence. You got to learn how to just say, okay, all right. I was totally out of order. I was totally wrong. And I paid a price for it. I went through some stuff I did not have to go through as a result of disorder and dishonor, because it was wrong what I did. And I can admit that. I can admit that. And in it, let me help some of y'all. And in it, I was like, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. And right after that, the Lord was like, son, this is not right. This is not right. Some of y'all need to apologize tonight to somebody, because even though you felt wrong, because sometimes it's not that you were even wrong. You just felt like you were wronged. It's not that you were even wrong. You just felt like you were wrong. And because of your perception of being wrong, it made you do wrong. You weren't actually wrong. It was your perception. It was your perception. And so I was totally wrong, totally out of order. And so that's why early on, some of the things that I had to deal with, watch me, it was reaping what I sowed. It was reaping what I sowed. It was reaping what I sowed. All right. So listen, we've been on for what? 45 minutes. All right. I just want to get to this part. So that's January, February. And I'm like, I didn't go to church for 2 weeks. I remember waking up on a Sunday, like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? And my bishop, he didn't come on until Sunday nights at 6. And so I was like, well, what am I supposed to do until 6 o'clock on Sunday night? Streaming wasn't a thing then. So I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And so I remember waking up like, I remember one time I went to visit a church, and I went to visit the church, and I was just trying to sit in the back. You know, I was not used to it. I'd been on the other side for years at that point. And so I remember going to visit the church, and I was just sitting there, and they said, Pastor wants you to come up on the pulpit. I said, no, I just want to sit back here. He said, I'll just leave me back here. I'm good. Let me just sit back here. They said, no, he wants you to come up here. And so I convinced them. I only moved up a few rows, but that was the deal. And I remember, you know, having these conversations and things like that. I was like, God, what am I going to do next? I was like, what am I going to do next? And during that time, opportunities had opened up in Dallas and some other places. And I was like, God, okay, all right, maybe I'm just going to do this. Maybe this is my exit. 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 And where y'all at, YouTube? Where y'all at, Facebook? I know y'all said y'all listen, but I need them comments. Instagram pops with the comments. Let's go. And after that, the Lord began to speak to me. The Lord began to speak to me about what was next for me. And so I was like, I started having meetings and doing things like that. And so I was like, okay, God, I ain't starting a church. I was adamant. I said, I ain't starting no church. I said, oh, no. I ain't starting that. I said, listen, God, I am fresh off of pain. Come on here. He said, you too oily. You can't hide. I said, God, I am fresh off of pain. I don't want to start no church. I'm not, no thanks. And can I tell you this? Often, please pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Your no is often an indication of his yes. I'm going to say it really slow so you get it. Often, your no is an indication of where his yes is. All right? Because I was like, oh, no, not doing it. Not going to do it. So here's what I did. I did another Ishmael. Yeah, right. Christina says 15 years later. I know, right? I did another Ishmael. So I was like, okay, God, I'm not going to do a church, but here's what I will do. Like the audacity to think I was going to negotiate. So I was like, I'm going to do a young adult ministry. So I did these young adult things. And so we would do them at all over the city. Young people were getting saved, young adults, teenage, middle school, high school, young adults, people were getting saved. It was amazing. People had known who I was everywhere I went. We had doors were open, everything we needed. It was bam, boom, bam, boom, bam. I was traveling, still doing that. Plus I had business, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so then God's like, okay, this ain't it. This is not it. This is not it. This is not it. And so I was like, I ain't starting a church. And so we began, when we began meeting. And it evolved into a church. I want y'all to pay close attention to this. What I started, I didn't intend for it to evolve. Because sometimes when you're a survivor, listen to the wisdom. Sometimes when you're a survivor, you only see, watch me, how to get out of it. You don't see what's supposed to come forth from it. You only see how to get out of it. You don't see what's supposed to come forth from it. And so I was just trying to transition through that stage. And so we were meeting at the Village Inn. For those of you in Aurora, the Village Inn on Island, right up the street from the Aurora campus now. That's where we were meeting. And we would meet there on Monday nights, and we would be, we would be in there deep too. It'd be 15 or 20. I remember one time we had horrible service. That manager was awful. And Bishop Foreman does not, I'm not paying and begging. I'm not doing both of those together. I ain't begging, period, but I'm not going to pay and beg. I demand excellence in the discussion, period. And so, we got like the vice president of Village Inn corporate. I mean, it was a whole thing. So I remember we went in, the same manager that treated us like trash one week. Next week, oh, hello, Pastor Foreman. Hello, how are you? Oh, yes, we're so glad you're here. And they had to pay for everybody's food. It's Village Inn. It ain't like it's super expensive, but Village Inn, for those of you not familiar with it, that's kind of like a Denny's or an IHOP, kind of similar in that same family of genre of restaurant. And they serve pies, but what they didn't know is they was going to birth a church that changed lives. All right. And so I was there, y'all. We were there. We would have our meetings. And I thought those people around me, I thought all those people around me were going to be with me forever. You ready for this? At those early meetings. Here's the wisdom. Out of that, this is how many of those people are still with me. For a variety of different reasons. And here's the wisdom I want to get you. When you're a survivor, remember that the principle I taught you? Everybody that starts with you will not complete with you. Everybody that starts with you will not finish with you. And you have to be okay with that. All right. Do you have to register to attend in-person service? No, you do not have to register. Let me tell you something. Denver feels like Atlanta, because Atlanta never really ever believed there was no coronavirus. You know, the South just stayed open pretty much. I say it somewhat jokingly, but somewhat truthfully. But no, you can come in person in Denver. And then when we go to pre-launch for Atlanta, you better come in person too for that. And so there you go. And so that was the situation. And so it eventually evolved. And eventually at those meetings, it evolved into, okay, we're about to start this church. So I knew I could not do anything without being submitted to leadership and submitted to authority. And when you're a survivor, here's another piece of wisdom I want to give you. When you're a survivor, you got to make sure you get covered. You cannot just be out here on your own, doing your own thing. You got to have a man of God that covers you, period. You got to have a man of God that covers you. And so I went and we were talking and chatting. And interestingly enough, the organization that I connected with, where the original name of our ministry came from, that group said, "Oh, we've been watching you. We know who you are. We've been watching you. And as we've been watching you, we have seen, you know, this and your leadership and your background and what you've done in business and ministry and all of that." And they said, you know, we have decided. And what was interesting about my journey is I was just getting ready to start a church. And they said, we have met, a group of other pastors and bishops have met, and we see what you do. We see who you are. We see your anointing. We see not only just your anointing, but we see your results. And it says, so we have elected for you. We have elected you to be a bishop. And actually, when I got the email, they said, we've selected you to be the second presiding prelate. Listen, I didn't know nothing about that world. Prelate. I was like, what is a prelate? And then I was like, what is a prelate? Prelate. If you grew up old school Pentecostal church, you know that word. If you didn't, you do not even, you're like, what is a prelate? What is the prelate? Pralines and cream? You don't even know what I'm talking about. And if you did, they're like, we have elected you to do that. And what was amazing about that is I was like, but God, how is it? Everybody listen, because you're a survivor. Your journey is not going to match anybody else's journey. Come on, I just need you to type my journey, my journey, my journey, my journey, my journey, my journey. Type my journey. Your journey is not going to match anybody else's. So that same year, we started the church. First service was May 20th, 2006. That same year, on November 4th, 2006, I was consecrated bishop. And you want to know where I was consecrated bishop? Atlanta. And it didn't hit me in Tucker, Georgia, which is right there in the Atlanta metro area. It did not hit me because I was like, God, everybody listen. I said, God, this order doesn't make sense because most people are reaching to get that. And they have sat in the seat of a senior pastor for years. But the Lord said, but some, you have been advising and counseling and directing senior pastors for years. You better hear me. And I'm not going to waste anything. I'm going to give you time served, which means I'm going to place into your hand what other people chase, what other people want, because your journey, you have been consistent and you have been functioning as a bishop ever before you had the title. Ever before you had the office. And for many of you, your journey is not going to make a whole lot of sense to you because you're like, shouldn't I do this first? He's like, no, we're going to do this first. Well, shouldn't I do this first? Well, no, we're going to do this first. Well, shouldn't I do this first? Well, no, we're going to do this first because you weren't created for your own. And I remember these pastors were showing up and we were doing the thing. And Harvest was only, let's see, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So we were only 6 months old at that time. Got it. But everybody was looking to Bishop Foreman and train us and teach us and train us and teach us and train us and teach us and do all of that. All right. Your journey will not necessarily make sense to you or to other people. We're about to wrap up, y'all. I want to get to this hard part. The hard part there, we have that happen, is starting. When you're a survivor, starting can be hard. You want to know why? Starting can be hard. You want to know why? Because you don't want to fail. Who am I talking to? Starting can be hard because you don't want to fail. It is easier to deal with what you know than to risk something new and potentially fail. And I want to speak to your life tonight. I want to speak to your life tonight. The most important ingredient to success is failure. You need failure in order to succeed. You need it. You need it. Come on. You need it. 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 Come on. And it says, God, I heard you. You need it. I need you not to fear what you need most. Don't y'all play with me. We'll go up in the spirit. East Coast family, if you got to go sleep, go sleep. Watch the replay. All right. But just stay on. You ain't doing nothing but going to look on TikTok. All right. You good? Come on. Come on. I love you. I love you. All right. Do not be afraid of what you need most. That's like making some fried chicken and you ain't got no flour. Baby, that is not going to work. The most important ingredient to success is failure. It's failure. You need failure. Why? Because as you begin to fail, you no longer fear it. As you begin to fail, you learn from it. As you begin to fail, listen to this, you learn it's not the end. It's not the end. So I built this amazing business and I watched the industry collapse and I felt like a failure. Do you hear me? I felt like a failure. I said, God, I built this amazing business. This is amazing what's happened. As a young Black man, we built this business. It's amazing. There's nothing like it. And then bam, I watched it. I was like, I feel like a failure. I'm a total failure. And watch me, in my feeling of failure, he's like, now let's start this church. I'm like, start a church in Denver, Colorado, with 46 out of 50 for lowest church attendance in the nation, 4% African American. There's not a lot of racial diversity. You want me to start a church that's got every age, every race, every background. And I'm coming off of a failure in my mind. It wasn't, to be honest, it was a success. But in my mind, I felt like a failure. And now you want me to start something new. God, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Right? And so we met. I'm wrapping up and I'm going to take, y'all will have to hop on the Instagram and I'll take the question over here. I'm not going to put the link out just for the sake of time. And I was like, God, all right, so we start. And, you know, I'm like, okay, we're going to move forward. So I'm like, God, where are we going to have church and how are we going to have church and what are we going to do? And we began to plan these things out. And as we began to plan these things out, chicken with no flour. As we begin to plan these things out, I took the leap and we started. Everybody listen to me. We started, and I want everybody to hear me, with no additional, the only money we had was my money. The only money we had was my money. That was it. And I just told you I was coming off of having built an amazing business, but the industry has collapsed. So now I'm trying to transition. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I was sowing major seed during this time. Can I tell you when you need to get most of the seed out of your hands? Is not just after you get blessed, but in that valley. That's where you got to get that seed out. I was sowing $1,000 seeds like I was popping Tic Tacs during that time of transition. I mean, I was sowing seed like crazy. Because I said, God, what am I going to do? And he made it happen. He made it happen. God, I wanted to share so much, but it's already been an hour. I got to come on earlier tomorrow. Because I want to share some, I want to spill some tea. I want to tell y'all about some of the crazy stuff that's happened to me in my journey. Some of the crazy things people have said, some of the crazy things people have done. I want to tell you about the stalkers. I want to tell you about the people following me home. I want to tell you about the most crazy, scandalous one of them all, so that you know that what comes with succeeding and surviving is also warfare. All right. So everybody over on Facebook, YouTube, y'all hop over to the Bishop Foreman Instagram. Actually, before you do that though, everybody, don't anybody go anywhere. Don't anybody go anywhere. If you're on tonight and you've never given your life to Jesus Christ, Number one. Or number two, you've given your life to the Lord, but you've not been faithful to him. Or number three, you're like, Bishop Foreman, I do not know where things stand with God, but I want to be sure tonight. Wherever you're at, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter video, whatever, wherever you're at, on three, I need you to just do the hand wave emoji or say it's me. You're not watching this by accident. I know I ran out of time. There's so much more I want to share with you, but I pray you got wisdom. But if you need to give your life to the Lord, recommit yourself to him, or be sure, I need for you. Oh, Tim, I got some stories for you. Oh, that's right. Tim, no. Listen. I need you on the count of three, do the hand wave emoji or say it's me. 1, 2, 3. Whatever platform you need, become a Christian, recommit yourself to the Lord, or be sure. Wherever you're at, I need you to do the hand wave emoji or say it's me. Whatever platform you're on. Come on Instagram, come on Facebook, come on YouTube. Guys, do not get off. Do not be like those people who get up in the middle of the church at the altar call. That is rude. Stop doing it if you do that. All right? That is rude. And thank you, Tiana. Happy anniversary. Wherever you're at, do that hand wave emoji. Say it's me. When you become a Christian, recommit yourself to the Lord, or be sure. Wherever you're at, do that hand wave emoji or say it's me. Whatever platform you're at, you are not. Oh, yes. I forgot about that's so true. Club B too. All right. Come on. Wherever you're at, I'm waiting on you. 5. I'm waiting for you. 4. I see you. I see you, Lorenzo. Come on. Come on. Come on. We're happy for you. We're excited for you. Come on. Wherever else you're at, I'm going to wait. I'm going to count down from 5. Whatever platform you're on, do the hand wave emoji says me. No guilt, no condemnation, no shame. Be sure tonight. If tonight was your last night on the earth, I need you to be sure. 5, 4, 3. I'm waiting. 2, 1. Listen, you can continue to respond. I want everybody to say this to me. Say, Father, thank you for dying in my place. Because of this belief and because of this confession, if this is my first time praying this, I am now a Christian. If I was far from you, I am reconnected to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Listen, guys, listen. If you prayed that prayer live or on the replay, congratulations. Here's what I need you to do. Text the word decision. Use your cell phone. Text the word decision to the phone number 877-552-4746. 877-552-4746. I have digital ambassadors on every platform that can see you. If you did the hand wave emoji or said it's me, congratulations on your decision. Your next step, you got to be connected to a church, got to be connected to a man of God. I'd love to be your pastor. But watch that video called What Next? It's going to teach you what you should do. Let me say this. Can we celebrate, guys, real quick? Those that have given their life to the Lord, can we just take a pause and just give God a digital praise right there for people coming to the Lord? Last night, several people came to the Lord, and we're going to hit to it. I think we maybe hit it tonight. 200 decisions so far for the year. To God be the glory for that. Last year, just shot 600 people we were able to record, probably way more than that, gave their lives to the Lord. And we're going to hit 1,000 this year. I know we're only at 200 on May 21st, but we're going to hit 1,000 this year. Believe me. Praise God. All right. Last thing I want to say, if you want to sow, if this blessed you tonight, you can sow. The Cash App is $ Bishop Foreman with the number 2, $ Bishop Foreman number 2. If you want to sow, you can sow that way. Let me also say, you can go to our website, harvestchurch.church/give, and you can give that way. PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, Givelify, you can give that way. All right. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter video. I'm about to pop over to our Instagram. I'm going to pull up. There's 2 questions in the queue. I'm going to pull those up, knock those out right quick since we've been on for an hour. Listen, guys, I'm going to come live again tomorrow. Make sure you get our app. What's the number? The number for that. You know what? Let's celebrate this. 40 is the number of wilderness. 41 is the number of exiting the wilderness. 41. For who just asked what's the number, 41 is to exit the wilderness. All right. I'm going to take some questions over here on Instagram. These 2 questions, and then we'll pop up. Make sure you have our app, guys. Again, how do you get our app? Text the word harvest to 877-552-4746. You'll be able to get it. How old was I when I started? That's a great question. I will jump into that and more. You got to put the question over here in the queue, and we'll do that. All right. So I'm going to give y'all some time. Actually, I'll just stay live while I'm answering the question. So if you want to pop over to see the question, you can pop over to Instagram. If not, I'll just stay live while I'm answering the question. Bam. Here we go. What time? I'll let you know. So tomorrow, I'm going to go. I will do live. Our app is going to let you know what time so that you can plan for it. All right. Our app is going to let you know what time so you can plan for it. All right. Love you too. How do you identify the problem you are sent to solve? Great question. There's a message I want to point you to, because that question really it's more than just a quick answer. Let me give you this message that you need to do, that you need to hit. Let me give you this message that you need to hit. It is, you know what? Let me give you the series. Actually, the series, go to the series Sons of the Prophets. You can get that in our app. You get that in the website. That's going to help you to identify the problem you're sent to solve, because there's two levels to it. You're either assigned to a problem or a person that solves a problem. And sometimes your assignment, everybody listen real carefully to this. Sometimes your assignment is never, ever to be the problem solver directly. Your problem is to serve the problem solver. Timothy's job was to serve Paul. Joshua's job was to serve Moses. Elisha's job was to serve Elijah. For some, you're either sent to the earth to solve a problem or to serve one that solves a problem. Because there's so much deep to it. Get the Sons of the Prophet series. That's it should be on our website, on our app, our podcast. Get that series. That's a great question. All right. And let me do this last one, and then we're gonna hop off. How are you with taking it? Oh, this is good. How are you with taking this new leap to Atlanta and starting Harvest in Atlanta? Great question. Can I be honest with you? While I am excited, looking forward to it, my mind has begun to prepare for the fact that everything's about to be new in many ways. Lots of things are about to be brand new. I'm excited about the amazing people that I've already connected in Atlanta. I'm excited about building our launch team. I'm excited about going into the pre-launch. I'm excited about all that. That's going to be back and forth on a plane. Getting used to that. In fact, the sheriff told me, he said, Bishop, ask the chief, the Denver police chief, who they take care of the Denver airport. He said, you need to have your own reserved spot up front, and the chief can give it to you. So I text the chief. I said, I'm gonna need a spot, chief. So that because going through all this to I need a spot and an escort to get me up to the thing. And what have you. And so there's a lot of changes. I'm excited about it. And if you want to find out more about it, if you're in the Atlanta area, you got family in the Atlanta area, we'd love for you to connect. All you have to do is text HCATL to the phone number 877-552-4746. All right, guys, we've been on for an hour and 7 minutes. It's 11 o'clock. I know tomorrow at the Aurora campus, we're doing a second deal for vaccination for people who had their first shot, for those who want to take advantage of that. So I know there's some dream teamers that are on that need to go to sleep so they can be up in the morning. But if this bless you, so into it, $ Bishop Foreman #2, or Harvest Church /4/give. You can use PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, all of that. I love you guys. Did this bless anybody in that? Did you get some wisdom out of this? Did you get some wisdom out of this? Did you get some wisdom out of this? To just give you some wisdom. Did this give you some wisdom? But to answer your question, though, I am excited. I am excited. And I was not ignoring the other question in there. I'm going to jump in that tomorrow for the second time. But I am excited. Y'all pray for me. Would you do that? Especially tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm just going to come out the gate spilling tea. All right. How about we do it like that? And talk about dealing with the challenges that come with the seat and have come with the seat. The days that I wanted to quit, the days that I wanted to give up. You ready? The days. Y'all ready for this? Ooh, let me leave you on this cliffhanger. You ready for this? The days where I said, God, not only do I not want to do this, but there was a moment in time where there was so much. I said, God, I wonder if I even want to. I'll answer that tomorrow. Was that a cliffhanger or what? Was that a cliffhanger or what? Because I left a blank right there. We're going to spill the tea tomorrow. It's going to be good. It's going to bless you. Just want to share from my story, share from our journey. For those of you connected to Harvest, y'all, our next 12 are our best 12. What's ahead of us is so much better than what's been. And what's been is amazing. It's an amazing journey, but it's going to be amazing. All right. So if you're connected, y'all, it's going to be amazing. That was a good cliffhanger, huh? It's like on a Saturday for Sunday for me. So I love it. All right. Love you guys. If it bless you, go so. Have an amazing night. Love you. Shalom. Bye-bye, y'all. Bam.